What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RE Teaches Drums, where I will be helping y'all build some fundamentals for drumming. Today, we are going to build our timing with the 4-2-1 16th note grid. It's a huge builder for you. It's an accent grid that drastically will improve your rhythmic accuracy, stick control, and dynamic contrast with accents and taps. And if you've never played this exercise before, this will be an excellent challenge for you to implement into your regular practice. All right, so you just saw me play the grid at the start of this video, but what is a 4-2-1 grid? How should we understand it? Well, in the stock or the basic version of the exercise, the sticking pattern is going to stay the same the whole time. So it's just alternating strokes, right, left, right, left the whole time. And the accents move one partial at a time. So in the 4 section of the grid, we have 4 beats that we're going to place an accent on the downbeats to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then measure 2, we're going to move that accent one partial later. So instead of the first 16th note in the grouping of 4, it's going to move to the second 16th note, or what we would call the E count, right? So then it'll be 4 times of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, and then you continue in the 4s, you're going to move it to the third partial. So that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And then last but not least, we're going to put the accent on the or the 4th partial. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Then that brings you all the way back to beat 1. And then the 4s are over, we go to the 2s section. Now the 2 section is the same approach, except we're going to play through this section twice. And that's because it's basically cut in half, because we're going to play the downbeats only twice. So 1 E and a 2 E and a, then we move to the second partial, 3 E and a 4 E and a, and then to the ands, 1 and 2 and then 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, and then you simply repeat that again. So for the 1s, it's the same idea, except we're only going to play each partial accent 1 time each. So on the downbeat, 1 E and a, and then 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a 1. And because we've cut this down yet another time, we're going to play the 1 section. We're going to repeat the 1 section 4 times in total. So it would be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. And that completes the exercise. All right, so together, let's practice through this slowly. Let's play the stock version, just the 4 section together. You can grab your pad, grab your sticks. Let's play it together. Just the 4s. The most common mistake I see for young players is that the accent and the taps are all over the place dynamically. So really work on having a good, clear, strong accent, which is going to be a downstroke, and then you get down to some low legato strokes at the tap height or the piano dynamic, and you want to keep all those taps low. Right, so down low, all these notes are just low and steady. One more time on the 4s. All right, and then we get to the 2 section, and remember this is cut in half essentially. Let's play through the 2s. All right, and another common issue I see with young players is that they'll rush into those syncopated rhythms. So the accents on the E and the and the it's much easier to rush into them, where you're going to tend to get this 1, 2, 3 E, 4 E, right? You kind of get to the jump the gun early Don't change your hand speed at all. Your hands, or the rhythmic speed, the bass stays the same the whole time. It's 16th notes the whole way through. So you want to keep that rhythm really steady and consistent. And that's why I'm practicing with a metronome. Highly encourage you guys to do that. All right, let's play through the ones now. And as a reminder, the one section, you'll notice that we repeat that 4 times because it's so short, we just lengthen it out. So everything's the same number of measures essentially. All right, before we get to some cool variations on this that you should definitely try, let's play through the entire grid all together, 4, 2, 1. All right, let's talk through some variations. So a really popular variation to try is a diddle grid. So essentially, you're gonna add 1 double stroke. So there's 2 ways to go about doing a diddle grid. One option is to add the double on all the accents. So the double moves with the accent. So it would sound like this. The other option is that you keep the double on a specific beat the entire time. So even though the accent changes, the double, wherever you place it, is gonna stay exactly the same. So what I mean is, what if we put a double just on the downbeats? So the double will always be on the beat. So it would sound like this. So not only will this screw with your brain in the best way possible because you're dealing with a moving accent and trying to keep a double on a particular beat, but it's also just gonna build consistency of getting that double, whether it's at an accent on the downbeats, right? Or if it's at the tap height. And then you're listening for it the whole way through, regardless of where the accent is. It's a super great builder for your timing and to challenge your hands, man. It's just so great for you. So then we can take this even a step further with this idea. So diddle grid, but you could change where you place the diddle. So instead of having the double on all the downbeats, what if we just choose to have it on every E count? So we're just always gonna have a double on the E. Well, let's try that. How would that go? So very challenging to get that double to be very consistent on the E count, sounding the same way every single time, and then to make sure the timing of the accent grid is still lining right up, all right? And you can do this on the third partial and the fourth partial. So I'm gonna show you guys a different variation, which is you could do a tap roll grid. So it's a similar idea, except we could fill out all the taps with doubles to improve our doubles and then also still work on timing. So especially if you build the tempo up, this is going to be a super crazy chop builder for you too, because you're just playing this long roll through the whole stretch. Also a great challenge to go from the low end doubles and then to get up for an accent with still maintaining consistency of rhythm. You could also do buzzes, so just a great way to kind of relax your hands, honestly. Just do buzz rolls through 4-2-1 grid. And etc., etc. Now, besides that, I'm a big proponent of Flam Grid. So what if we put a flam every single time there's an accent? And the hardest part of this is going from that last count, the left hand flam, and then getting down for a quick downstroke to a tap, right? Coming out of that flam, because you got to get down for a grace note. And then by the same token, that right hand's got to go from a tap and upstroke to the accent. And you can even try to work on molar technique through that if you're into the molar approach. Otherwise, you can just practice it straight up wrist, and that will work just fine. We could also do the variation where the flam does not move with the accent. So what if we tried that? So flam always on the downbeats. Here we go. And etc. through the whole 4-2-1 grid. All right, and then you could try a bunch of hybrid rudiments. In my last video, I covered a bunch of hybrid flam rudiments like flam drags, cheeses, flam fives. You can do all of these for the 4-2-1 grid. So if I did cheeses, I would just do basically the same thing I did at the start of this with the diddle grid, except it's also got a flam on it. etc. through the whole thing. The difference is that on the last one, you can't really diddle that because you can't get back to a flam realistically unless you did a 3. So the last one's typically just a flam. And you could also do this with flam drags. Mess around with this, right? You could do flam drags where the flam doesn't move, so that would go like this. And etc. through the whole pattern. And then flam fives. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. I hope you got something out of the 16th note grid. I just hope you guys keep this one with you because it's such an important exercise for improving your chops, your control, and most importantly, your musicality. So keep practicing out there and you guys are gonna really see some results. If you found this video helpful, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel. Right now, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I haven't quite hit 100 yet. I'm very close, but we're on the road to 1,000. So I'd love for you guys to be a part of that and join me on my journey of sharing drum knowledge with you guys. Stay tuned because I'm going to be covering triplet grid next time, and I'm looking forward to sharing that. All right, guys, thanks so much. Ari Schiller out.